In this video, we are going to analyze time series trends of the AMSA vessel tracking dataset. And now moving ahead with longitudinal data health. So over here, we will be looking at some charts which helps analyze this data more in detail. Just looking at how the data grew over the years, what was the vessel activity. So we are using matplot FuncFormatter. It just helps in creating a formatting where you can just display your y-axis as you want. For example, we will be using or displaying the y-axis in millions rather than having the numbers over it. So it just helps us have those parameters defined easily. Over here, what we have done is on our lazy frame, we have selected date and craft ID. And with this columns, we have done some analysis for a particular year where we are aggregating in order to have the total number of vessels, the total records for the years, and the unique timestamps for a particular year. This is in order to understand the vessel activity for that particular year, the total number of records that we found for that years, and how often the records were recorded. Over here, we are just basing our data for the first year, which is like we are taking the first year as our basis, and then doing our analysis on top of 2012 data, which will be making it easier to analyze the trends. Just having calculated the unique vessels for the year and the timestamps change for the particular year by just dividing it with the total minutes that are in a particular year. And then after all these calculations, we will be plotting them. So we have 4 graphs if you see below. In the first graph, we have total data volume, which we are just doing a bar plot here. Then we have unique vessel for the particular year as it grew. Then the growth trend that we are observing and how the trends have changed over the years. If this is just the normal plots, which is like line plot or bar plot. So, but it's just showing how the data grew over the years from 2012 to 2025. This is the unique vessel activity, which the total number of unique vessels that grew over the years. And here is the correlation between the vessel activity and frequency growth of the timestamp, which is in green. And we can see as this trend is going upwards, our total number of records are also increasing. So we have our last plot, which is on Australian marine regions. So you can see in below image that we have these marine regions across Australia, and we will be plotting one of these regions using S-ray indexes. So over here, we are just using again the lazy frame, and since AMSA data is quite huge, so we can't analyze this data for all of these tags. So we are filtering our record for a particular marine tag, which is Commonwealth Marine Region Southeast. And after filtering the records for this particular tag, we will be grouping our data on S-ray index and event date and aggregating the total number of records, which is like we used to do in our previous cases. And then we will be grouping our data for these particular tags and calculating the total number of records in that particular area. And we will be again using layers in order to have layers created for this graph, and just simply plotting it again. So you can see we have plotted the small graph over here, and that's it. Please make sure to download the latest version of this notebook from our public Git repository.